Hello gardeners, today we are going to read a book called Oh Say Can You Seed? All About Flowering Plants by Bonnie Wirth and illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. This is a book from the Cat in the Hat's Learning Library. All right. Oh Say Can You Seed? I'm the Cat in the Hat, and I think that you need to come and take a look at this thing called a seed. From the giant gum tree to this very small weed, every flowering plant started out as a seed. Plants are so useful to me and to you. Can you think of the ways? I will name a few. The paper for books and the cloth for your plants come from trees and from cotton. That's two kinds of plants. The grains and the fruits and the veggies you eat, why, they come from plants too. And here's something neat. In deserts and woods and rainforests thick, grow plants that can make you feel well when you're sick. Yes, plants serve us well and fill so many needs, and flowering plants all started from seeds. Just what is a seed? Are you wondering maybe? Well, you might say a seed is a tiny plant baby. The best way for you to see just what I mean is to take a close look at a seed called a bean. Like all seeds, a bean comes in three basic parts. Thing 1 and thing 2, please bring on the charts. Part 1 is the first that I think you should know. It's the part that's the baby. It's called embryo. To sprout, it needs food, like you and I do, which brings us to seed part numero 2. It's called cotyledon. Say, isn't that fun? This bean seed has 2, but some others have 1. That's like the food store that we talked about in our lesson. Last comes the third part that you need to know. It's the coat, which protects our cute bean embryo. To sprout a bean seed, keep it moist but not wet. Keep it covered with dirt and then see what you get. 7 or so days comes the part that I love. A root spreads below and a stem shoots above. Now, in order to show a grown bean plant to you, we've traveled in time for some months, maybe 2. The parts of the bean plant. We have the flower, the stem, the leaf, the fruit, and the roots. Thing 2 calls the part above ground the shoot system. Thing 1 calls the part underground the root system. To get a good look at the roots underground, it is better to make like a mole, I have found. Roots are not pretty. They're twisty and hairy, and some roots look even a little bit scary. Roots anchor a plant and help it stand true. Roots suck up the water and minerals too. And roots keep the soil from just washing away. That's pretty important now, wouldn't you say? We've talked about roots. We have learned about them. Now it is time we moved on to the stem. The stem is a pipe through which water shoots. It's absorbed from the soil and passed up through the roots. It shoots through the plant, and next, as you'll see, the leaves each turn into a food factory. Just like the rhino's protected with horns, the stem of a rose is protected with thorns. Leaves come in all shapes and all sizes. I've found some small and some spiky, some big and some round. We have wavy edges, toothed edges, narrow leaves, smooth edges, lobed edges, broad, flat leaves. But the thing that all leaves have in common is this: they make their own food by photosynthesis. I'll say this quite loudly. I don't mean to be rude, but plants are the only living things on Earth that make their own food. To do this, plants need water, minerals, and sun. And that's why the daytime's when food making's done. For your information, and also for fun, hop in my shrink-upper and let's see how it's done. The leaf takes in CO2 through a stoma or pore. It works like a mouth, and that's what it's for. Then the air gets mixed in with the water and sun, and that's how the food-making factory is run. CO2 is carbon dioxide. This is the stoma, and the CO2 enters through stoma underside of the leaf, and water is coming in through the little stem piece on the leaf. And this is where the food is made. I see by my clock that now is the hour to drop in and say a hello to the flower. Plants breathe out a gas that we breathe in. The name of that gas is oxygen. Thing 2 has a chart. He will share it with you. That shows what the parts of a flower all do. Parts of a flower. We have the male parts, which are the stamen. It has the anther and the filament. The female parts, we have the pistil, which has the stigma, style, and ovary. There is a pollen grain that has to go down the pistil's pollen tube to the ovary. And in the ovary is the ovule. On the outside of the flower, we have the petals. In the pistil are ovules. They're unfertilized seeds. The stamen holds pollen, which an ovule needs. An unfertilized ovule will never, ever grow, and pollen's the stuff that will fix that, you know? A flower's own pollen or another's okay. That's where the bees play a role, by the way. To make honey, bees need to get nectar from flowers. They fly and they gather this sweet stuff for hours. The pollen sticks onto their bodies and legs. It falls off and sometimes it reaches the eggs. An ovule that's fertilized becomes a seed. Around it grows fruit, upon which we feed. When we say the word fruit, do you know what that means? It means olives, nuts, grains, plantains, tangerines, and apples and oranges and pineapples too. All kinds of plant foods that are healthy for you. Some fruits are juicy and messy to munch on. Dry ones like nuts are nice just to crunch on. Not all plants with seeds give us edible fruit. Some plants have seeds that look weird or look cute. Our seeds are hitchhikers. Burr seeds are hitchhikers that ride on your clothes, and dandelion seeds sometimes fly up your nose. Some seeds come in pods that explode like a sneeze. Other seeds may have wings and can fly on a breeze. But whether they stick or they blow or they fly, seeds bring us life, and now you know why. I see the sun setting, and here comes the moon. Your mother is calling. Your dinner is soon. I hope you have learned from my little seed talk, and now I will climb up this giant beanstalk. The end. And then they have a glossary of different definitions of some of the things that they talked about. Thank you very much for reading with me, and I will see you soon.